Hello everyone, this is Sistani. As usual, in this video also first we check the return of the previous package, and also then I will show the new package for the next 2 weeks. Here you can see the summary of this video. As you will see, for 5 stocks strategy, the return of the previous package was something around -2%. The return since the beginning of 2022 reached something around 38%, and since the beginning of 2017 reached 930%. And as you will see, the market forecasts predict an uptrend for the coming weeks. From this week onward, I will not report any more 15 stocks package because of the cost of the broker. Instead of that, I will replace it with 5 stocks strategy. Here you can see a comparison between 5 stocks return and 8 stocks return since 2017. As usual, you can read the cumulative return on the right axis together with this orange curve, and you can read the return of each biweekly package on the left axis. And as you see, at the end, the return of 5 stocks strategy is much more than 8 stocks, 930% against 600%. However, at the same time, the risk of 5 stocks is more than 8 stocks, because if one stocks drop, this risk will be splitted among 5 stocks rather than 8 stocks, and then it is clear that the risk of 5 stocks will be more than 8 stocks. Furthermore, here you can see also the return of 5 stocks since the beginning of 2022 against 8 stocks. As you see, the return of 5 stocks reached something around 38%, whereas the return of 8 stocks strategy by the end of this week reached something around 16%. Before checking the return of the previous package, let's first have a look on the market forecast for the coming weeks, and then we check the return of the previous package, and at the end also I will show the new package for the next 2 weeks. Here, as usual, you can see the forecast for S&P and Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. The blue show the price changes during the last 1000 days, and this orange in the last part show the forecast. Let's zoom in on this part. And as you see in this zoom in of the last part, the blue curve show the price changes during the last 2 weeks, 15 days, and this orange curve show the market forecast for the next 5 days. Just before starting the forecast, let's also have a check the forecast of the previous video. Here, this is the time of the previous video. As if you have watched the previous video, in the forecast predicted this downtrend up to certain point, and then we expected an uptrend after this downtrend, which happened again. However, at this time, after a short uptrend, we expected another downtrend, which didn't happen, as you see, because of the new news. The market continued this uptrend up to a certain point. However, then the market moved back, and then something at the end, something similar to what predicted happened, with some days delay at the end. And this delay happened because of the new news. And this happened for all 4 indexes. For the coming week, as you see from this orange curve, for the next 5 days, we expect an uptrend for all these indexes. Especially for the NASDAQ, we expect a strong uptrend. Maybe only for the Bitcoin, we expect this market forecast predict a downtrend, first a downtrend and then uptrend. However, at the end, as I have mentioned always in the previous video, this is machine learning forecasting. It may not be able always to predict the future. It only check according to the past condition, predict the future. As I have explained in the previous video, I train a machine learning model with different market indicator in the past and predict the future. However, at the end, the market behave mainly according to the new news rather than the similar condition in the past. This type of forecasting can be used only as a hint for if you are going to increase your investment or decrease. For example, in the previous video, if you have watched, I proposed that if you want to invest, wait a few days and then start that. And this, if you have done that, then you should benefit from such a forecasting. Okay, let's start first with the 8 stocks package. This is the package that I have introduced in the previous video 2 weeks ago for a duration of 2 weeks, means until the end of this week. And as usual, these are the tickers of the stocks in this package, plus the buying price, the market close price on Friday afternoon. And these are the tickers, the price development for each stocks in this package, 60 days price development. And now let's see the return of this package. Let's first check the return of the 5 stocks strategy, means the first 5 stocks in the previous package. As you see, the returns are changing between -5% and 0.6%. And the average of this package then is -2%. Compared to the market, for example, S&P 500, during these 2 weeks, the return was -2.3%. Then we are slightly better than the market. And here you can see, as usual, then the price development during the last 74 days. And after these 60 days, then is the price development during the last 2 weeks for each stocks. Before starting the 8 stock strategy, let's see the return since the beginning of 2022. If we add this last package to our returns since the beginning of 2022, we reached something around 38%. And as usual, you can read the accumulative return on the right axis together with this orange curve, and the return of each individual package you can read on the left axis. And this is now the return of 8 stocks strategy that I have these are the 8 stocks that I have shown in the previous video. Here you can see the return of each individual. As you see in this 8 stocks package, the returns are changing between -11% and plus 1.8%. And the average of this package is -3.5%, which compared to the market is a little bit worse than the S&P 500. Here you can see again for these stocks, after these 60 days, you can see the price changes during the last 2 weeks. Now let's see also the return since the beginning of 2022 for 8 stocks strategy. If we add this last package to our return, as you see, we end up something close to 16%. And as you have seen, the previous package, the return of the previous package was something around more than -3%. Again, you can read the return of each package on the left axis together with these bars. Now let's check the new package for the next 2 weeks, means until 25 of December. Let's first start with 5 stocks package and then 8 stocks package. Here you can see the stocks in this 5 stocks package. These are the stocks, and the buying price according to the Yahoo Finance means the price on Friday afternoon at market close. And here, as usual, you can see the price changes during the last 60 days, the normalized price changes. And you can also follow a 3 stock strategy, means the first 3 stocks in this package. Some years the return of 3 stocks package, some years is better than 5 stocks and 8 stock strategy. However, some years was worse than 5 stocks and 8 stocks strategy. For example, here you can see the return of 3 stocks strategy in 2022. As you see, by the end of the previous package, the return of 3 stock strategy reached something around 73%, which compared to 5 and 8 stocks package is much better. However, in some years, for example, 2020, the return of 5 and 8 stocks was better than 3 stocks. At the end, it's up to you which strategy are you going to follow, and but I recommend it to be consistent and select one of them and continue with that strategy. This is now the new 8 stocks package for the next 2 weeks. As usual, here you can see the stocks and also buying price according to the Yahoo Finance on Friday afternoon, and also the normalized price changes during the last 60 days. And then the next video I will post on 25 of December, which will be the last video in this year, and we check the return of these packages on 25. Then let's hope for the best, and I will post the next video on 25 of December. In the rest of this video, I will go through the return of this method since the beginning of 2017. For those who has not watched the previous video, as I have explained in the previous video, in this strategy and method, I used a code which is equipped with different technical analysis and machine learning techniques to select a package of 8 stocks for a duration of 2 weeks. And at the end of each 2 weeks, I sell the previous package and buy a new package. And I post bi-weekly then a video to show the new package and also to analyze the previous package. Here you can see the return of this method since the beginning of 2017 for 5 stocks strategy, and as you see at the end of this November 2022, we reach something around more than 900%. And as usual, you can read the cumulative on the right axis together with the orange curves, and the return of each individual package on the left axis together with the bar. In the next slides, I will go through the return of each year separately for those who are interested to know more about the return in each individual year. Starting with 2021, as you see here, the return of this method in 2021, and as you know, this year was a very good year for trading, and as you see, the return of this method at the end of the year slightly exceed 100%, and the minimum happened in November, and which was close to -3%, and the maximum happening in the end of January was more than 11%. 2020, as you know, at the beginning we had a drop in the market due to the pandemic. However, during the rest of the year, this has been recovered, and at the end of the year, it was not an bad year for trading. At the end of the year, as you see, the return of this method reached something around 40%. And the minimum happened, which happened in March, was minus 25%, and the maximum was plus 15%. 2019, the return of this method, as you see, reached something around 67%. And as you see, the maximum was something around 6%, which happened in June, and the minimum return also was close to minus 6%, which happened in the May. As you know, 2018 was not an ideal year for trading. However, as you see at the end of the year, the return of this method was positive and reached something close to 12%. The minimum was something close to minus 8%, which happened in March, and the maximum was close to 7%, and it happened in May. And finally, here you can see the return of this method in 2017. As you see, the return at the end of the year reached something around 45%, and the minimum happened in sometime in April, and it was close to 2.5%, and the maximum happened in again end of April, and it was more than 6%. Then with this slide, we'll finish the return of this method since the beginning of 2017.